and you're recording the whole call, right? So
Yep.
we don't even need to clarp.
What?
We don't even need to clap.
Oh, no.
I guess I could say the words the way they're pronounced if I want people to understand what I'm trying to say to them.
I was just like,
it's a new strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for us.
Bold strategy, Cotton.
God.
I did finish that movie, and it is full of very dated humor.
Some
but
grotesqueries, yes.
It's still pretty funny.
Yeah. You know what? I will say, as far as the mid-2000s are concerned, the Christina Taylor character, but the revelation that she is indeed bisexual is, by all accounts, as far as mainstream movies go, an early and important piece of bisexual representation.
It is.
Like, as low, like, boy, and I think we need much more like gay and lesbian and ace representation on all forms of media. But I simply must say, when it comes to bisexuals, it's slim fucking pickings, dog.
Dude, yeah, 100%.
And when bisexuals show up, often they are portrayed as sluts, no matter what like gender they are. They are always like, just because you like both men and women, it means you are constantly sleeping with both. And I'm not saying bisexual sluts do not exist. I am a proud supporter of bisexual sluts the word over. But it's not all. Some of us are fucking dorks, you know what I mean? Like, some of us are uncool, and we're not sleeping around. And I think that we need loser bisexual representation.
Yeah.
So that's all I have to say.
I need you to put that on a t-shirt.
Loser bisexual representation.
I need loser bisexual representation.
I need loser bisexual representation, which is going to get me some
LBR.
bad bisexual lawyers, I have to imagine, right?
Probably.
If I ask for bisexual representation, I'm going to get... Speaking of bisexual lawyers, simply must be said, Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, that character is pretty landmark for being like, he's kind of a middle-aged man, he's monogamous, and he's bi, and you gotta give it up.
Wait, what movie is this?
It's a television show called Crazy Ex-Girlfriend. It's a musical comedy. Great show. Incredible. Excellent show. Really tackles like mental health issues and these like harmful stereotypes in media directly, while also having at least 2 very catchy songs per episode. And nice. The character, I believe his name is Dale. It's been a minute. But he is like a middle-aged lawyer. He has a kid with his ex-wife.
Daryl.
And he realizes that he is bi. And in the style of Huey Lewis and the News, he sings a song called Gettin' Bi about like explaining bisexuality to his coworkers. Incredible. It's a delight. Yeah, it's truly excellent.
You know, it's rare that an episode of this show goes by where I don't learn about something else I've not watched, read, or listened to that I now need to do one of those things to.
Absolutely. And only 4 seasons.
It's a tremendous bummer is what I'm trying to say.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's just
every episode's like, remember that backlog? It gets deeper.
The watch pile, the read pile, the listen pile just gets deeper and deeper and deeper every time we do one of these shows. And I think that happens to me as well. It doesn't seem to be happening to the same extent it does to you. Although I learned a lot of stuff about, like, I like video games. I don't know shit about video games compared to you. So I definitely learned a lot in that regard.
Sure. We all offer something unique to each other, and it's what's best for a group, honestly.
The 3 of us, 2 in this episode, have interesting, different perspectives that we bring to the show. It's part of our dynamic. Weird that. It's fine. And this is, of course, Advanced Community Studies, a podcast where we watch the American television show Community 1 or 2 episodes at a time. I hope you enjoyed our little jaunt into Podmetheus and Podcastra. We'll never do it again. I'll
do those specific to again. We will certainly do that mechanic again.
This is what happens when Jace leaves for a week. When Jace is enjoying a nice little quarantine staycation. Respect. I hope they have a great time. But this is what happens when they leave us unattended.
One could even say that they're doing this on purpose and know that we are like coming to a point where we're gonna have to do this, so they take themselves out of the equation. So
when they were on the fence whether or not they'd be able to show up tonight, I did warn them that this was going to happen, and right after that, they were like, "Oh, actually, you know,
it's not working. Bummer."
The internet, it's out." And I honestly can't say I blame them. I hope it was interesting to listen to. But I am one of your hosts, TV's Kevin Lanigan, and class dismissed. Class dismissed.
I am the daddy host, the one who has all the opinions. That's a weird thing to say.
Well, we all have too many opinions.
We all have too many opinions.
Where I dared say I don't have a lot of opinions, and I've never lied harder in my entire life.
You said that, and I was like, yeah, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But this episode, you can call me Trevor St. Goodbody or David.
It's interesting that we both opted for quotes from competitive wine tasting. It didn't dare attempt a Cougar Town monologue.
I watched that episode for like the third time in the last week because I keep I have a kid, if you guys don't know, hence my name, the daddy host. And so I have the habit of starting things that I can't finish. I just try. Sure. And sometimes that means I can't finish a movie. Other times that means I can't finish a 22-minute episode of a show I love. But I finished it for the second or third time to this week and actually got enough from it, right? And was still like, fuck, I can't come up with a name from this episode. There's not, I can't do it.
Chet had lived, and I took one step, and I remembered my first kiss at Cougar Town High. So that didn't lend itself as well to the potent quotables. I have no bits of business, and we just talked about two old ass sci-fi movies. Do you want to just dive right in this week?
Yeah, fuck it. Let's go.
All right, let's fuck it. Let's go right in. Let's start. First episode on the docket, season 2, episode 19, Critical Film Studies, directed by Richard Ayoade, written by Sona Panos. In this episode, Abed invites Jeff to a fancy dinner, during which he mimics the film My Dinner with Andre. Meanwhile, there is a Pulp Fiction themed birthday party waiting for him. I'm gonna just lay this out there, and I think this is something I've said about other episodes previously, but this time I really mean it. This is the weirdest fucking piece of TV to ever air on NBC.
Yo, this episode is so bananas. Like, endlessly. It keeps doing it. Like, there's moments in this episode that I laugh at out of their sheer just absurdity. I just find myself like Abed seriously saying, I poop my pants. And like nobody reacting. Like every single time I'm like, oh my God, this episode's so fucking weird.
And that was it. Courtney had nailed it.
Jeff jamming his phone into his cup of water, and Abed being like, "Oh God, this is too much. This is not what I meant." Like it's.
I might have done some damage here.
I was like the second or third time Abed's realized one of his things hasn't gone perfectly.
That he's maybe taking some of his bullshit too far.
Yeah, exactly.
It is very interesting that this episode is directed by Richard Ayoade. He of the IT Crowd, both British and American version.
Wait, like the guy that acts on the IT? Yeah, okay.
Moss from the IT Crowd, great guy. The IT Crowd is not one of my favorite shows, but I think he's pretty undeniable. He, of course, was planning on reprising his role on the American reboot of the IT Crowd, which starred Joel McHale.
Oh, I haven't watched either IT Crowds.
Oh, okay. I guess you're not familiar with the one episode only American adaptation of the IT Crowd. But yes, Joel McHale was playing the Chris O'Dowd part, and Richard Ayoade.
See, I knew Chris O'Dowd was in it. I didn't know that wasn't the American version. I mean, I get it because Chris O'Dowd's not American. I should have known.
Neither is Richard Ayoade.
But whatever. Not a good metric because he's in both.
Yeah, that's true. Nor is future community guest star Matt Berry, who is very big on the IT Crowd.
Who does Matt Berry play?
He's the grifting teacher.
Yeah.
He's just like, I'm the grifter. I can't wait until we get like fucking 4 seasons from now, and I get to do my fucking Matt Berry impression for an entire episode.
It's perfect.
Yeah, it's going to be excellent. So this is not one of my all-time favorite episodes or anything like that, but a round of applause is in order for the sheer audacity of trying to pull this episode off, and particularly a round of applause to fucking Danny Pudi, who delivers pages and pages of monologue in this episode.
It's very good. It's very good. And I don't know, does Danny Pudi have do he do a lot of theater stuff? I mean, almost every actor ends up having some of that, unless you're like,
I think he's definitely done some. Most actors go to like theater school, and then
unless you're like
translate
Clancy
that
Brown.
into other programs.
Yeah.
He originated Beetlejuice the musical on Broadway. He was the Alec Baldwin part in the Beetlejuice the musical adaptation, but he did that part in previews. He did not carry it over into the actual like 2 years of that show going on, because the part was very small, not particularly meaty. So he moved on to other pastures.
Sure, that makes sense.
If you're going to be away from your child for 8 performances a week, it better be a good part. And Danny Pudi is at a point where you can be like, I'm going to go do Mythic Quest on Apple TV Plus. Actually, I'm going to go be a DuckTale. Actually, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do something else. Weird. I didn't know he was in the second Hoodwinked movie, which
is he really?
He's little boy Community. He's little boy Blue in Hoodwinked 2.
Hoodwinked 2.
Yeah, the second one. The second one.
Oh boy! If you thought the animation in Hoodwinked 1 was rough, I cannot imagine the straight to DVD Hoodwinked 2.
I think that was the theaters, dude. Why am I yawning? I'm so sorry. I think that went to theaters.
Okay,
I'm almost positive that went to theaters. It's got a 4.7 out of 10 aggregated score on IMDb. Yeah,
excellent. So let's go to the box office mojo for Hoodwinked 2. Color me fucking curious.
Oh, homie, this has a release date on it. Hoodwinked Evil 2, Hood vs. Evil in 3D, April 29th, 2011. This went to the theater. Glenn Close, Cheech and Chong.
Opened to a scintillating $4 million and brought in a total domestic $10 million.
Glenn Close,
early.
Cheech and Chong, Bill Hader, Hayden Panettiere, Amy Poehler, and Martin Short all have credits on the main poster.
Hoodwinked 2. Now, of course, 2 is spelled TOO exclamation point.
Hoodwinked also.
Hood versus Evil. Yes, Hoodwinked also. That doesn't even make sense in the context of your title. No. It's fine.
David Ogden Stiers, Joan Cusack, Patrick Warburton. We can't seem to escape Andy Dick.
All right. Well, Andy Dick is the villain of the first Hoodwinked.
Yeah.
I think it's Jim Belushi and Anne Hathaway in Hoodwinked 1, and I imagine they did not reprise their roles.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense, huh?
Yeah. I think Anne Hathaway was delivered the script for Hoodwinked 2, and she slid a piece of paper over that said, "I want this much money." And they said, let's see, Hayden Panettiere is cheap, I think. So let's get us the cheerleader from Heroes, shall we?
What tells you that 6 months, sorry, not even, why did I say 6 months? What tells you that 6 years after the first movie, people are hungry for that sequel?
Yeah, because the first Hoodwinked brought in like 50 mil, and 50 mil in like 2007 or 6 is not a tremendous amount for like a family animated movie in a post Shrek world.
Sure.
Or in a world where like Pixar's ripping through it. That's Pixar prime time. Finding Nemo, Monsters Inc., The Incredibles, they're fucking tearing shit up over there. And Hoodwink 2 said, "What about me?" And the audience said, "What about you?"
I didn't even know who produced, like, what animation
studio is responsible for Hoodwink 2. I couldn't tell you, but dare we discuss the episode?
Sorry, back to it.
I don't want to be that guy.
No, you're fine. We somehow got from just talking about Community and Danny Pudi to having to talk about the fact that Hoodwinked got a sequel, which, like, You listen to us. You know us. You love us.
This is what always happens. This is par for the course.
We apologize for it when it happens, but y'all are like, it happens every time. We're ready. That's why we're here. If that's not why you're here, sorry. This is what we do. Moving on.
Yeah, sorry. This must be your first time.
Welcome.
This episode has these 2 episodes. I normally don't watch episodes like over and over again in the preparation for these episodes. I watched both of these like 2 or 3 times because I was like, there's so much to pick apart here. And I honestly have nothing to say about like the Pulp Fiction party subplot. It's fine. It's fine. Troy getting mad at Chang is fine. Yeah. I do appreciate everyone in their little Pulp Fiction gear. My favorites are Shirley as Samuel L. Jackson, which is especially funny. Oh, go ahead. I said, to quote the Dean, I hope this doesn't awaken anything in me. And huge shout outs to Britta as Mia Wallace, which is it's a good get up. It's a good look.
Yeah. It's especially funny when you see Shirley in Samuel L. Jackson's costume, when you realize that, or when you hear her say that she has seen it, and it's a wonderful
little movie. I saw it on an airplane.
It's
a 30-minute film about friends that love milkshakes, the Bible, and talking about movies or whatever.
It's very good, because you're like, oh, she doesn't understand this role at all.
But it's very good.
It's very good.
It's an excellent Shirley bit. And I really like Britta's boss when she's like, I'll give you all the tips for my next shift. And he's like, all the tips that the customers give
to you?
Can I get that in installments so I don't get slammed on my
It's very good.
It's an excellent bit. But now on to the Jeff and Abed main plot. Because we're done with the Pulp Fiction plot. I have nothing further to say. But the Jeff and Abed main plot is fascinating. It's had you seen My Dinner with Andre prior to
neither
this
actually
episode?
I've seen big chunks because of this episode.
For sure.
I have not actually sat down to watch the movie properly.
As a high schooler, had certainly not seen My Dinner with Andre prior to watching this episode.
Sure, one would hope not.
But a few years into college, the Criterion Collection used to have a deal with Hulu. And sometimes they would have like a Hulu free weekend where they'd release a bunch of Criterion movies on Hulu for the weekend. And you could watch them for free with your Hulu subscription. And I had a desk shift at school. And I was like, oh, My Dinner with Andre. I can finally understand this episode of Community. And My Dinner with Andre is literally a movie of just 2 guys talking at dinner for the entire feature length of a movie.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's interesting. The Jeff part is Wallace Shawn, he of The Princess Bride and the Toy Story films. And it's Andre... something is opposite him. The actor's name is Andre, as is the character. They're sort of ostensibly playing themselves, but Andre is this guy who shows up in a very similar sweater to what Abed is wearing. And they talk back and forth. It's almost all the Andre guy. Wallace Shawn is really just like responding and asking questions until like the 3rd act, when he like returns and is like, you're full of shit. And the Andre guy is telling these stories about like joining a cult and like visiting these far-flung tribes of the wilderness, and like, oh, it was an awakening experience for him. And I can never say if I like it. I guess I'm glad that I've seen it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
But like if it's a fucking Friday night, I'm not gonna pop on My Dinner with Andre.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a movie that I would have like on my short list of things to watch if I can't think of anything else.
For sure. It's a decent enough. I like some weird or boring movies, but that one is a little tough. I simply will admit. Taking this from the perspective of the character of Abed, right? And he feels like his friend Jeff, who last week he specifically said he was not hanging out with, feels as if Jeff kind of left him behind. As season 2 has moved into really like ensemble-based storytelling, like we're all doing a bottle episode, we're all going to a bar. He has fewer and fewer storylines with Jeff, as well as like the Troy and Abed friendship has truly taken over at this point. It is so endemic to almost every episode of the show that there's little to no room to have Jeff involved, because Jeff can't be involved in the pillow and blanket fort subplot. He needs to be in the conspiracy theory subplot, right? Because Troy and Abed are the B plot of almost every episode this season that has a B plot. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so he looks at his friend, the one guy who gets all of his pop culture references. He sees Jeff, not only because of his age, but because of his, like, I don't know, predilection towards his worldliness, right? And says, okay, this guy, an educated American, as Jeff would describe himself to Duncan, and construes that the way to relate to his friend is through this bizarre 80s art house movie that made like no money in middle America where Jeff lives. Like, the only people that saw My Dinner with Andre live in New York or Los Angeles, and that is it. That is the end of the list. Or Cannes in France, where a film festival is being held. Right. If you saw this movie in Colorado, you didn't, because you were actually in Sundance, Utah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that there's like equally weird that Abed picks this, and also Abed not actually picking this movie as much as he's finding a movie with a person who's just normal that still has something about them going on, right? Like,
yeah,
he picks a movie to play out with. I don't know why I said out like I was from Minnesota. Play out.
Hey, you gotta see My Dinner with Andre there. You're gonna.
Well, fuck, bud.
Shit.
Oh shit, fuck, bud. Yeah, Abed's finding a character that is not arguably not actually a character, just a dude.
The most fascinating aspect of this episode to me is less in the actual episode, because it really is Jeff and Abed having a talk and this like Pulp Fiction subplot, basically so that we can just have something to cut back and forth to, right? The fascinating aspect of this episode to me is really examining it from Abed's motivational point of view. Because Abed, I guarantee you, does not like My Dinner with Andre, right? He rented it because he'd heard it was an arty film that perhaps Jeff had seen or would enjoy. We later find out that Jeff has neither seen nor heard of My Dinner with Andre.
Right.
But he engages in this because he thinks it's something that his somewhat cultured friend, his most cultured friend, would appreciate and enjoy. Abed likes movies and TV that are formulaic, that have clear acts. The movies he enjoys are all either like B-movie trash or classic formulaic 80s fare. And the TV he enjoys is generally like rote sitcoms. You know, he likes and appreciates the sitcom structure and finds it comforting. So this is completely outside of his wheelhouse. That he would use this to try and impress his friend because of this barrier he always has with people in the outside world. He's trying to use this movie to get over it, to get to a friend he really wants to impress, even though he doesn't have to, right? Like, Jeff already loves and respects Abed. That hasn't been in doubt since he jumped in front of a school bully to defend him a season and a half ago, right?
Right.
And then he has to like make up this story about Cougar Town. We find out in a meta sense that Abed did stop by Cougar Town, but he did not walk through a scene. He certainly did not poop his pants. He's not even in a scene with Courtney Cox. It's Busy Phillips and Dan Stevens. So he has to take his real life experience, and he feels like he has to blow it up and make it something epic to impress Jeff.
Right.
And that's very, very interesting to me.
Yeah, and super sad.
Really sad.
This
is a sad episode for both him and Jeff. And Joel McHale is also really, really good in this episode, right?
Yeah, very, very.
I mean, yeah, and he's right on top of it. The like monologues he gives, the fascinating aspects we get of Jeff, that he calls into phone sex lines and pretends to be overweight because he doesn't think anyone can love him if he's not a perfect specimen. And I don't have Joel McHale's body. I also feel like that sometimes, right?
Yeah.
That if I like lost what little shape I'm in, that I would suddenly become the Blob from the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, and no one would want to love me, right?
Right.
This is a fascinating episode for these two characters.
Yeah.
Even though it's very simple. I like the resolution that they have kind of a Pulp Fiction, My Dinner with Andre mashup party as a group, that they don't like need to do anything that special. The bond of the group is enough at this point. We've had better parties and we've had worse ones. Life will go on and the study group will stay together for at least 2 more seasons.
I like when Abed and Jeff finally have their conversation at the Greasy Spoon or whatever what is that diner called?
The Greasy Fork, I think.
Yeah, there you go.
Because all of those types of diners are called Greasy Spoons.
Exactly.
And this one has the slight variance of being called the Greasy Fork. The 50s nostalgia diner. After the news, people just want to experience a pre-racial
America. Yeah.
Which is a fucking excellent Dan Harmon bit. It just reeks of Dan.
Yeah. But I love when Jeff and Abed are there and they're like finally hashing out the end of their little spat. And you have Abed being honest about like, we used to hang out more. And like,
yeah,
it's interesting. And I don't want to say human because like, I'm not trying to say Abed's a robot, but it is
I've felt Abed. I've felt Abed in that moment.
Yeah.
Where it's like, what happened to me and this friend that like, we just don't, I mean, he sees Jeff all the time, but like they don't hang out in the way that they used to.
Right.
And it's
a very human and very like relatable pain to anybody that's been through high school and college.
That's right. And especially like, oh boy, Abed, after you graduate, like good luck hanging out with fucking anybody. Like,
sure.
If you don't have like a project or say a podcast to do, the chances that you and an adult friend are going to keep hanging out are scant. They're few and far between if you don't have these common things. I only like recently had like a good non-project based hangout schedule with like a friend. Like we both had AMC Movie Pass and would just go see a movie a couple times a month, almost every week at some points. And then coronavirus happened, so RIP to.
And then 2020 was like, fuck your friends.
Yeah, then I started a podcast.
Again, fuck your friends.
Yeah, fuck your friends. Yeah, you're making them do a podcast with you. Fuck your friends.
What an asshole.
Right. But I felt Abed in that moment. And I really love Jeff's Abed is trying to like not do the fakery of these things, but I really feel Jeff in the moment where he's like, do you know how fake it is to point out how fake everything is? Like so many fake people are having this exact same conversation right now.
Yeah, it's great. It's very good.
It's a good bit.
Yeah. And you mentioned it earlier. It's not an episode you come back to frequently, but like it's not an episode I skip either. It's one of those like weird state episodes. It's like I don't love it, but if it's on, I'm going to watch it because it does have an interesting conversation to have tucked into it.
Yeah. And it's absolutely wild. And when Neil Goldman was on the show, he was talking about how when they were like scripting it or when they were making it, Dan Harmon was like, does this work at all? Like, is this anything?
Does this work?
Does this work? And like Neil Goldman was the one who was like, yeah, no, it works. It's okay. Like it's all right. And I do think it works. Yeah. It comes together. It's interesting. I don't like it as much as fucking Zombies, but
which we found out is one of the most difficult episodes they ever recorded.
They ever
wrote. Yeah.
They recorded it, video and audio. But it's a fascinating piece of work, and it's one I'm going to keep circling back around to. This is a community episode that I don't think I've unraveled fully.
Right.
Do you ever get that? With a piece of media?
I still take things from The Office as well, and Parks and Rec. I still take things from The Social Network, despite having seen that movie dozens of times.
And you'll see it dozens more.
Yeah, and I'm sure I'll find a little thing that I didn't notice every other or every third viewing for the rest of my life. Because like that's what good creative work does. It's not just a here's the laundry list of things. It's a tableau that's got levels to it, and you can look into those different things. If sometimes it's depending on like the mood you're in, right? Like if you're in like a mood where you have like you feel differently, or like your focus is impacted differently, like you'll catch things that you didn't catch before. I've watched episodes sad and been like, yo, this shit's poignant, and not ever thought that before that moment. Absolutely. Specifically this episode, though, where we're in quarantine and we're trying to deal with being able to be social. Sorry, we're trying to deal with being social in a way that's non-threatening to our own health and non-threatening to our friends' healths, and like also just doable and feels still amicable and not like some kind of like exchange of goods, you know, because sometimes interaction feels like that, where you're just like, "Hi, Mom. Yes, I'm fine. Cool.
Hello,
how
Mother.
are you?"
Yes,
and like the phone call ends,
and alive, and I am employed.
Exactly. At the end of that phone call, you don't feel any fulfillment. You're just like, "Yeah, I did a very transactional thing." So like those things all being super relevant right now, and then watching an episode about a kid who doesn't know how to communicate, one, and who hates how little he sees of a friend he used to see more of. Yeah, exactly. Like this episode's not the best episode, but this time I watched it, I was like, damn, I get it. I get this episode.
It's characters looking for meaning in the idea of looking for meaning, which is never where you'll find meaning. You can only find meaning through experiences and then later drum them up for meaning.
But it's the easiest place to look for meaning, right? Like, it's where everyone goes, and it's like, but that's not where it is. And
you can't write a story and say, I want this to be poignant. You can only like try to come to some emotional reality that is itself poignant. You can't set out to be poignant. And I find this episode interesting. Again, like not on my top 10 or anything like that, but one that I think is really interesting, and I'm glad they fucking swung for it and made it happen. Shall we move on to the next?
Let us. Competitive wine tasting, which might have one of my favorite lines in the whole show.
Absolutely. So season 2, episode 20. Competitive Wine Tasting, directed by Joe Russo, written by Emily Cutler. Jeff and Pierce take a wine tasting class, and Jeff becomes jealous of Pierce when an attractive woman takes notice of him instead of Jeff. Also, Troy and Britta are taking a class with Professor Garrity, and Troy tells a big lie in acting class. And also, Abed takes a class about figuring out who's the boss on Who's the Boss. This, for a long time, I called this my least favorite episode of the first 3 seasons.
Really?
Yes. Okay. I hated it. And revisiting it twice for this recording, it's not a fave, but it's much more interesting and has a lot more good parts than I ever gave it credit for before. I still don't like the Jeff and Pierce storyline. I used to think it was grossly out of character. I don't think that anymore. That's absolutely something that Jeff would do. Jeff Winger is completely that petty. There's interesting things to weigh in every plotline. It, of course, gave us one of the all-time great Community gifs, which is Donald Glover screaming, "My emotions."
My emotions! It's so good.
Which is an exquisite bit. I appreciate that they reuse the My Dinner with Andre restaurant set. If you bothered to build it, use it twice. Get your money's worth.
Use it again.
Doesn't bother me. I get the process of making TV. I understand.
Oh my god, is this Fiddler Please?
Oh, this is Fiddler Please. Yes.
I forgot about that.
Again, just wait to the end tags, the rankings, darling.
Both of these end tags are incredible, but let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Okay, shall we hash these 3 plots out? Because they do all prove to be interesting to unpack to varying degrees.
Sure, yeah. So you've got Jeff and Pierce in a wine tasting class where
featuring Chang, because you got to pay Ken Jeong, so he'll show
put
up
him
for
somewhere,
a few lines. That's
and
fine.
where better to put him than here? Yep, sure. Where an attractive classmate just like a World War II anti-air rotary gun shoots down his advances with ruthless efficiency.
So
and then like
dumb haircut and go sniff another dog's ass.
It's so good.
It's very funny.
And so she shoots him down, but goes right after Pierce.
And we find out that she is actually a spy from a rival moist towelette business. Because as we say, it's a hard, dry, large business, and it's a ruthless corporate takeover underway. Jeff is constantly paranoid of her motives, and he is proven right. Even though the ultimate resolution is that Pierce and this woman should go on a date, and because they're both racist.
They're both awful, terrible, awful people.
Miserable people. And I think this plot line works for me if she isn't a spy. If it truly is a woman who is interested in Pierce Hawthorne, which, like, okay, we can get over that hurdle, and a woman can be interested in Pierce, right? And Jeff relentlessly pursues this lead because he just can't let it go. And then it turns out, no, this is a person that genuinely likes Pierce Hawthorne. It's this weird, and Pierce can still do his monologue where he's like, you weren't trying to prove that she was after me. You were trying to prove that no woman could ever love me. Yeah. And it kind of tries to have it both ways. And it is surprising. Like, it is like a turn. But I wish it had dogged down on one idea and stuck to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. Because it does, like, Jeff threw the secret out into the open, and now the whole thing's done and over with. And, like, that could be a resolution. And instead, there's almost like a post-credit scene that's not post-credits. That's him, like, reuniting them, similar to how he reunited Britta and Gooby. Like,
where's Wizard?
Yes,
but like it just feels like it's trying to have it both ways, and it feels
super extracurricular. It feels super extracurricular, and like it could have just left it at one or the other. I agree. Her not being a spy means Jeff has to deal with the fact that, like, not everyone's for him to have.
Right.
That works.
And we do get that as well, but we also get the other thing. And it's a little muddled. I don't need, like, TV to have a trite lesson for every storyline or whatever. Like, I don't
because even the slight amount they do move backwards, and, like, yeah, she did still just like Pierce because they're the same person. It still feels like, obviously, this isn't going to go anywhere because there's nothing to, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I wish we had gone that full route then. Then she likes Pierce because they're both miserable, hateful, racist Toilette barons.
Because this is just pointing out that they're similar, despite the fact that they will obviously never have a relationship because it's already been ruined.
Right.
Which is like,
and so, yeah, we kind of do 6 of one, half dozen of the other, and it never quite pays off. And I get it. Not every TV plot line can be as fucking taut as you would like it, as ironclad as Remedial Chaos Theory. I get that.
As taut as Jeff Winger's abs.
Yeah, as taut as his fucking washboard abs. And it is sandwiched between fucking My Dinner with Andre and the fake flashback episode. I get it. Your fucking resources are allocated to other places.
Oops, we missed one. Yeah, exactly.
It is fine. And I think the B plots are funny and or entertaining enough that this is not like a total wash. It's not a complete waste. Jeff is also, and Jeff Winger bridges on being unlikable in a lot of places. And honestly, I don't even think he's that, like, he is mean to Pierce. He's also, like, really mean to Annie for no particular reason. Like, really nasty.
Well, I think, it's like this, like, it's like his id lashing out, right? Like, he's at a point where he can't figure out how to solve the problem. So he's just mad at everybody who's around him.
It's a classic Winger plot. We've seen it before. We will see it again.
Yeah.
But he's just really nasty to Annie, and I don't know. Annie doesn't deserve that. The study group is oddly. It's one of those times like Chicken Fingers where the study group does what the plot needs them to do. So everyone except Jeff is like, oh, of course this gorgeous model-like woman is interested in Pierce. Let's throw a party. And Jeff is the only one who is dubious. But I get it. Sometimes you just need characters to act the way the plot needs them to. Just not a personal fave.
There's a lot of like single one-off lines or like little dialogue bits in this episode that do keep it in the like most frequently quoted by me. Of the like 10 to 15 episodes I quote all the time, this one's in there because like the don't take the class on jokes. The professor, I dropped it after the lesson on setups. The professor was so old. And then she just like knowingly and sadly nods at the rest of the room as they like, oh God.
No that shit, dude. A top 5 community joke.
It's very good. It's very
top 5 bit. It's such an excellent bit. Right. Like, this is not one of my favorite episodes. It has 2 of my all-time favorite community jokes. The other one being the Fiddler Please End tag, which has me in hysterics every time.
It's very good.
Let's segue over to that then. The Britta and Troy take an acting class subplot. Excellent to see Kevin Corrigan return as Professor Garrity. We only get this character like 3 times. It is an absolute joy every single time. This is a beautiful, hilarious character. I love him. Your homework tonight, drink a glass of cognac.
Drink a glass of cognac in a bathtub. That's one of the other lines. It's so good.
And that beautiful, like, Joe Russo push in as he's delivering a monologue. It's like, actors are not about telling truth. It's about having our moment in the spotlight. And that's like that's a way to use a camera to tell a fucking joke.
Yeah.
It doesn't all have to be like dialogue, which I love, but you've used the frame to tell a joke. I love it.
Yeah, it's very Edgar Wright, right? I said right.
100%.
But using the camera to tell jokes instead of your actors only is very, very, very good.
Yeah.
And when you can use both in what am I trying to say? Like together, when you can use both together, where your actors are being funny and your camera's being funny. Fuck, man. It's great. Yeah, I would love to see the Russos do more comedic shit. They're in their action push right now, and I
like their action push, don't get me wrong, but I wish any of the Avengers movies they worked on had a tenth of the visual creativity that their episodes of Community do.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like,
yeah, like if they'd been able to direct Ant-Man.
Yes. And I think both of those 2 Ant-Man movies are quite good. They're really enjoyable.
Yeah. The first one's written by Edgar Wright, so how could it be bad? But
right. Well,
it's kind of it's written enough by him. His name's in the credits still.
Wright and Cornish did a draft, and then it was rewritten by Paul Rudd and Adam McKay. So, like, sure, yeah, okay, that movie was probably going to be pretty funny, right?
Yeah, that's not a bad movie.
It was probably going to be pretty fucking funny. Those are 4 very good comedy writers, and I like all 4 of their Marvel. Well, I don't really like Infinity War, but it's fine. It's like a completely serviceable piece of work. And they do really good work with Thanos, which is what that movie needs to accomplish.
They do tremendous work with Thanos, which I realize is maybe because they did really good work with Chevy Chase initially. And making a bad guy that they
understand like hateful bad motivation.
Yeah. This is the first time I've made that connection. And that
Thanos is Chevy Chase.
I'm both uncomfortable and so proud.
Yeah, absolutely. The bald, angry man who believes himself to be a genius who can solve everything. Yeah. Wish that their movies were more visually creative. Like any of the fucking chutzpah or innovation that they have shown on this show over and over and over again. Yeah. And I wish they would put that in a scene with Thor. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
Those movies are so like uniformly shot. They're not color graded in an interesting way, and I know they probably don't have control over that, but still, it's I don't want a little bit more visual creativity. I hope whatever they get to do now that they're out of the Marvel stable.
Oh, they're not. They'll be back.
You think they'll be back?
Yeah, I do.
Okay. Yeah. Well, they're not announced for anything.
Sure.
Currently.
They also got the opportunity to direct 4 of arguably the most drab Marvel movies. Like, they're directing Winter Soldier, Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame while we're getting Guardians 2, Ant-Man 2, Black Panther, and Thor Ragnarok, which, like, those are the colorful ones, and they just got
Visual
unlucky.
extravaganzas.
Yeah, and they just got the super spy World War II vet storylines, and like
Civil War looks good, though. Or not Civil War.
Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier looks good.
Winter Soldier's pretty. Winter Soldier's
look
pretty.
that they stick.
Yeah,
and I think that really works for that movie.
Also, that movie's tremendous because it's a spy movie, not a Marvel movie. Like. Yeah. And I say that with like, obviously, I know it's a fucking Marvel.
I mean, it
movie.
ends with like them jumping across like 3 helicarriers. But I get what you're saying.
But like
most of that movie, they're
most
in
of that
like
movie is very subtle.
bunkers. Yes. They're wearing baseball caps in malls. Like that's all very interesting.
Yeah, it's a Bourne movie.
Winter Soldier, good flick.
Yeah, it's a Bourne movie.
But anyway, I love that bit of visual storytelling. I used to think this Troy plot was like offensive. I'm like, you can't make jokes about that. People being molested as children. Now I'm a little bit more like, okay, this is just like Troy being shitty. You know what I mean? Even though he's saying like my uncle put his finger in my plop, which is one of the more upsetting things. But it is, unfortunately, Donald Glover is very funny. It's fine. It's brief. Britta is understandably upset. Britta takes it maybe a little too far, but that is the Britta Perry way.
Yeah, Britta's attracted to pain. It helps her pretend to be healthy.
To be healthy.
Yikes.
Yeah. So it's a nice little plot with a lot of good, funny jokes in it, you know? And I'm for any return of Professor Garrity.
Yeah, and what's the big dorky kid? Garrett. Okay, you said Garrity, and my brain was like, "Oh no, I'm wrong."
It's both.
Yeah, Garrett sharing his story about the swing set, and then Garrity's like, early childhood is a bed for traumatizing memories, and he's like, "It was this morning."
Oh, I love Garrett. They're so mean to him. They're so mean to that guy. But he's a trooper. He's a hell of a guy. And then we have this very brief subplot with the great Stephen Tobolowsky, where Abed takes
great guest appearance. Love that so
great
much.
Guest appearance. The ultimate. Oh, that guy, Stephen Tobolowsky, who is fantastic. I believe that this episode was filmed like shortly after a surgery of his. And he was like very grateful that they like shot it in a way that wouldn't be too taxing to him, because he really just has to like
just kind of
stand a couple times and sit a couple times and get to be Tobolowsky. The class dismissed bit cracks me up. The Mr.
when he pulls the drawer,
I am not a fan. I am not a groupie.
When he pulls the drawer open after Abed's like, there's 2 roads to travel down, and there's a gun, and you're like, oh god, and then he pulls it out further to reveal another book he wrote. Very good.
The original draft of this script had Abed leave, and he's walking across the quad, and then he hears a gunshot.
Bullshit.
I'm not fucking with you, dog.
Oh my god.
I'm not fucking. Would have been so upsetting.
That would have been so upsetting. Jesus.
I don't know fucking anything about Who's the Boss, but this plotline is very fun. It's very fun to watch these two pick apart a silly, cheesy old sitcom in an academic way that you would pick apart like the fucking works of Werner Herzog. Like, it's very funny.
It's good. It's very good.
The same treatise you would give to fucking Twin Peaks season 3, they are giving to Who's the Boss. And that Abed is a magical wizard who can beat anyone at their own game. And he defeats Professor Sheffield.
It's very good. It's very good.
It's charming. It's a great Abed plot, and I love anytime we get Stephen Tobolowsky.
Am I the only guy that focuses in on that middle-aged man with long, flowing brown hair nodding at Abed when he finishes his story?
Oh, some like extra in the classroom?
Some extra dude that like every single time I
don't know who you're talking about, so you are the only guy.
Fuck! There's a guy at the end when Abed's wrapping up his, like, so obviously Angela is...
By any definition of the word boss, king,
and then turns to the class. And
Angela Bauer.
And then there's this guy sitting in the front nodding that looks like they're focused on him to me. But they're obviously not.
Featured extra.
Yeah. I'll find a screenshot of Homie just so I can show you so that I can at least expose somebody else to this weird, like... obsession I have for this dude.
I'm glad we can add this dude to the list with Post-Ironic Disco Stew and Lauren Stamil as far as like people you've DM'd me pictures of. It's Slater, Aaron, Tony, and this dude.
Yes.
Exquisite.
It happens, man. Sometimes people stick in your brain.
Yeah, that's really all I have to say. We burned a lot of time on our two space epics at the beginning of this episode. Yeah. Do you want to get to the ranking section?
We can. I do want to mention, I mentioned that this episode that has my favorite, probably my favorite line in it, because it has the most real world application for me, just because of where I shop. I realize I'm saying this and it sounds really bad. Let me start this over. Real world application is not what it's going to sound like. I mean, I shop in places that have wine in them, and I think of this joke a lot. So, just all of that qualification being said, it's got to be better than wine tasting with Pierce. He refused to drink Pinot Noir because he thought it was French for black penis is one of the funniest things in the world to me.
It's very good.
And every time I walk past any wine racks, that's the first thing that pops into my head.
Pinot Noir, mid-size car, Pinot Go. I don't know if you saw Kimmy Schmidt, but
yes,
an excellent song about. Okay, great.
Yes, that show was very good. Well, excellent. I didn't finish the show, so I don't know how the last season or season and a half was. But I
have seen the last season. I think it's good. It's not as good as like early Kimmy Schmidt, but it's good. And I have not played
movie.
I have not played the interactive movie. I haven't done any of Netflix's fucking choose your own adventure games. You
didn't play Bandersnatch?
Bandersnatch. Benedict Bandersnatch. No, I haven't partaken of the Bandersnatch.
Partake. Let's not
I haven't
describe it like that.
sampled the Bandersnatch.
I have not gotten the snack. I haven't had a Bandersnack, if you will.
When it first came out, I looked at my girlfriend and I was like, "Do you want to do this?" And she's like, "No." And then it hasn't come up since.
There you go.
That's sometimes.
Sometimes stories are riveting. Other times they're a sentence.
Absolutely. So the ranking, as we always do. I hope this episode was good for everyone. I think it was probably entertaining enough. Let's see the end tags ranking. First, we have Troy and Abed eating dinner at the fancy restaurant, and then they dine and dash. What market are you shopping at?
What market are you I am going to run. Me too. On 3.
Yeah, exactly.
1,
Danny
2,
Pooty's
3.
delivery. He's folding the napkin, and he says, "I'm going to run." It's very funny.
And then they're like alternate count of 1, 2, 3, and then they just fucking bolt.
Yeah,
it's up there. It's up there for me.
This is a good one. A stealthily good one.
It's up there. Your cursor's hovering around the top 10. I am in agreement.
I'm in the top 20 zone. Yes. Okay, so number 10 is Pierce Poop Rap. Is this as good? I don't think so. It's good. Is it Pierce Poop Rap good? Could have that argument. But I do. Is it better than?
I think it's funnier than Troy and Abed in stop motion.
I think it is as well. Oh,
so is it number 11?
I think it is. Oh no, it didn't auto update the numbers. This is a living hell. Okay,
hang on. I am going
to just add it into my Word document, and because it auto updates the numbers. But just know that's where it is.
Sure.
for your own purposes. Troy and Abed dine. I'm not renumbering every.
Oh my god! Why? Fuck
on this Google Doc.
No.
No. Okay, and then next is Fiddler Please. All right, Caleb. Now you listen and you hear me out here.
Okay.
This is the best one.
Yep, definitely.
The best one they'll ever do.
It's the fucking best one. It's the fucking best one. No doubt. There's not like a debate. It's easily one of the absolute best ones. Without a doubt.
Okay, great.
Without a doubt.
Okay, great. I'm glad we're both in agreement there. I hope Jace doesn't come back and be very mad at us.
It's hard to be Jewish. It's hard to be Jewish. It's hard to be Jewish in Russia. Yo, like, it doesn't... Bagels and locks.
Diamond shops.
It's so good.
Yeah,
Dreidels.
Yep.
Hit him with an Old Testament beat.
Yeah, it's all good. Well, I'm glad we're both in agreements here.
Shit.
Excellent.
It's so good. It's so good.
Now to the episode.
Now to the worst part.
Okay. Critical film studies.
Yes.
I respect everything that they're doing, right? And I really admire that this episode exists. Do I like it more than Troy's politically conservative fight raps? I do not.
That's a good measuring stick. Which episode is that?
That's number 15, Football, 15? Feminism, and You.
Yes, thank you.
But, like, okay, now we're in, like, early 21st century romanticism, Asian population. We can have a conversation. It is better than Abed as Jesus, in my opinion. Messianic Myth.
Yep.
Our current 18.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it as much as early 21st century romanticism. I really love that episode.
And Asian population studies is when they're picking a new group member, right?
Yes. Which is also very good.
It is.
Rich kettle corn. Now imagine your
Don't
teeth
ruin this for me.
And that parsley is a half Chinese baby.
Don't ruin this for me. I'll shatter your world.
I'll shatter your world.
So right after that, right? Like,
yeah, right after that.
That's the logical step. Because I think that putting it right next to Messianic Myths and Ancient Peoples is good, at least as far as we can control right now. It may be separated later, but like,
right.
I think them being next to each other makes sense because they're both episodes in which Abed makes a notable development in their relationship with one of the members of the group.
Yes, and I think they are imperfect episodes, but I so admire everything it is that they're trying to do.
Yeah, sure, exactly.
Excellent.
Yep.
And now competitive wine tasting. I'm looking a little lower here.
I think it's better than the pilot.
You think it's better than the STD fair?
I don't. I just changed my mind because I saw the other ones around where we put the pilot. So
I'm looking down here. It's boy. Okay. So let's look at the season 1 finale, our current number 36, Pascal's Triangle Revisited.
That episode's such a fucking mess.
It's a mess. So is this one, I think. But
yeah, but it's a more constructed mess, if that makes any sense.
The parts of this episode, competitive wine tasting, that I like more than the parts of Pascal's Triangle that I like.
That's a pretty unimpeachable sentence you just said right there.
But do I like it as much as Britta's trial at the pool in Advanced Criminal Law? We can talk. We can have a conversation.
No.
I don't like it as much as the STD fair at 33. I don't. So it's not going higher than that for me. Critical film studies communication studies is Jeff and Abed drunk dialing Britta. And I like that episode more.
That episode's pretty.
So I think Advanced Criminal Law, number 35, this one is either right above or right below. My feeling is right below.
I just feel like Advanced Criminal Law is good, but it doesn't move any goalposts. Not goalposts, that's not what I'm trying to say. Does it move anything forward, or is it just kind of like one of those episodes that's like, you're still getting to know these people?
Yeah, it definitely is that. That one does have the judges table of John Oliver, Jim Rash, and Ken Jeong,
which is pretty solid. And
pretty
naked,
good.
And Naked Leonard in the pool behind them.
Naked Leonard in the pool. What are the B plots in that episode? Abed pretending to be an alien, which I could go either way on. It's okay. In your personal taste, does what you like about competitive wine tasting, is it better than the parts of Advanced Criminal Law that you like?
No.
Okay.
I think 35, the new 35, in between that and Pascal is a good...
S1E20? Competitive wine tasting.
How are we through 20 episodes of the second season of this already?
Quarantine's been going on for a long time.
Yeah. It has.
We almost always do 2 at a time, so we are cruising, and that is the speed I would rather take. I would rather take this cruising speed.
If we slow this down, there's the chance of getting distracted and or uninterested for a second.
Yeah. If we were going 1 at a time, we would be on Anthropology 101, the season 2 premiere.
Oh, that's so sad. Okay, yeah, no, this is perfect.
Yeah. I think we're doing this the right way.
To make it clear, I wasn't complaining. More just like, holy shit, we're still in quarantining. That was more what I was doing.
No, absolutely. I didn't take it personally.
Okay.
So now we move on to a little section called Plugagas. All of my plugs are not my own shit, but it's shit that I have enjoyed in the intervening week that I think our listeners might also enjoy.
All right.
So one of them is the most recent episode of my number one favorite podcast, Blank Check, with Griffin and David. At the time of this recording, is their most recent episode, but they did. It's a 3-hour episode, but it also has Jason Mantzoukas and Paul Scheer as guests on the episode, and it starts as a conversation of Robert Zemeckis' movie Used Cars, but turns into a fascinating and really, really intriguing exploration of the state of contemporary movie comedy and where comedy sits in like the current standings of Hollywood. And I would really, really recommend, I think anyone that listens to this fucking show would be interested in listening to that episode as well. So I will absolutely recommend that. And I have also really been enjoying the new podcast called Cerebro. Every episode, they take a look at a different X-Men character. So far, they've done Psylocke, Nightcrawler, and my number one favorite, Emma Frost. And I think all of the episodes are good and interesting. And if you are interested in X-Men nonsense, then I think you will enjoy that one as well. And I'm sure I had something else, but I've completely forgotten it. This has been a very long record. And Caleb, I will turn it over to you.
Oh man, honestly, I don't have much that is new or happening right now. Got a lot of stuff going on at home where we're finishing a portion of the basement and getting a bunch of stuff done. So that being said, my involvement and or interaction with the outside world and those things is relatively limited. I will say that I just started watching The Boys season 2. I don't know if anybody that listens to this likes that show. It is something. I'm watching it almost purely on like the curiosity principle, where I'm like, man, what's this gonna try and do? You know what I mean?
Up to
yeah. Where are you going with this? I watched the whole first season in a single day. I had a day off when I was working 45, 50 hours a week at one job, and like 20 at another. I had a day off from both, and I was like, I'm just gonna watch all of this. And it's interesting. I like the idea that someone made a show based off of a graphic novel series that's based on the idea of if superheroes were real, they'd mostly be assholes. Is kind of solid. I'm kind of on board for that idea. But anyway, I know that show's got some tumultuous stuff coming because I've heard people talking about it. So we'll see, and I'll update as that's appropriate. But other than that, honestly, like I don't have much to promote. You know, I like talking about video games. So if you want to hear about new video games, check me out on Twitter at LubWeb or my blog at nerdy_bits or nerdybits.com. But yeah, my plugs are easy because they're small.
And there ain't nothing wrong with that, dog. We will be back next week with a pair of bangers, including the fake flashback episode, which spoilers for our ranking discussion, that one gonna be up there.
Yeah, it's a bit on the top of the shop.
That's gonna be a big one, y'all.
It's really
and we are barreling towards the end, season 2,
which is wild.
So yeah, still. Absolutely wild. If you like the Muppets, scroll back in this feed. I just released like a 2.5 hour bonus episode about the Muppet movie. So maybe y'all will enjoy that shit as well. But until next time, we are 2 of the Greendale Three. Pop.
Poppity poppity. It's hard to be Jewish. It's hard to be Jewish. It's hard to be Jewish in Russia.
Yo. Bagels and lox, diamond chops. It's hard to be Jewish in Russia. Yo.
Hit me with an Old Testament beat.
I don't know how, I don't know why, but I like ladies and I like guys. I realize it's a surprise, but now I see that that's just me. It's not like I even tried. So if you ask me how I'm doing, here is my reply. I'm getting by. I'm getting by. Oh yeah, I'm letting my bi flag fly. Not gonna hide it, not gonna lie. I'm a bi kind of guy. There's no reason to be shy. My oh my, it's a fact I can't deny. I'm bi until the day I die. Now some may say, oh, you're just gay. Why don't you just go gay all the way? But that's not it, cause bi's legit. Whether you're a he or a she, we might be a perfect fit. And one more thing, I tell you what, being bi does not imply that you're a player or a slut. Sure, I like sex,
Please make him stop.
but I'm no hoe. I take things slow until I feel at ease. So if you ask me how I'm doing, I'm feeling peppy, sprightly, spry. I'm getting by. I'm getting by. And it's something I'd like to demystify. It's not a phase. I'm not confused. Not indecisive. I don't have the gotta choose blues. I don't care if you wear high heels or a tie. You might just catch my eye because I'm definitely bi. Big man! I'm getting by. 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 It doesn't take an intellectual to get that I'm bisexual.
Crazy Ex-Girlfriend, Mondays at 8, 7 Central on the CW.